So was it ever a shock, like you know what I'm saying, as far as like doing a different music? Did you ever feel like coming from Chicago, because your music doesn't? I mean, you do a lot of drill music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shoot, gang bang, killing this, killing that. Did you ever at one point when you creating your music like felt like maybe they wouldn't accept this style of music from you?
I ain't really think like that at all. It was on some, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, back to the drawing board. And I wasn't gonna ever sell out, but just trying to put out my version of like what I think is like a polished product.
Right.
So I never really had that thought in my mind like, oh, what if they don't? Because it was almost as if they like it, they like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't really like nervous about it at all.
So how did you? What was the process of you putting out your music? You know what I'm saying? When you first started, before you got with the label. Studio, do a song, and what's your next step?
I scrape up money, get 2 hours at the studio, and record, and I drop music whenever I thought was like the right time.
Right. Was this like a thing? We're just on a SoundCloud or?
Yep, SoundCloud.
And how did it actually take off from SoundCloud though? Like,
I don't know, because I don't know I don't know nothing about promotion and none of that. So like, I feel like people just was fucking with it.
And
so
I think your SoundCloud is definitely like an testament, because that's where I found you at, was on SoundCloud, and your SoundCloud is an testament to like just the body of work that you put out. But have you put out work before these projects and the 2 singles that you have up on your SoundCloud now?
No, I got hella stuff. I used to just drop every couple of weeks or so, maybe every month or so. I used to drop music low key based off how the numbers climb, you know. And after a while, I just started getting more and more results, more and more views, and here I am now. It's crazy.
so initially, it wasn't really a plan behind it. It was just like, let me put my music out, tweet it out one or two times.
Yeah, because I ain't know what the fuck, like, how to do it.
Right.
I ain't know how, like, because there's a whole business side to this shit, and I ain't know shit about it. I was just posting music, and people was fucking with it, pretty much.
Like you said everybody want to be a rock star now.
Yeah.
And I remember like early 90s, and I was listening to music, like it was, nobody wanted to be a rock star. Everybody wanted to most likely be like a activist, so to speak. That's why you had names like Public Enemy and poor righteous teachers, young poor righteous teachers and everything. How do you feel? Do you think nowadays it's important to talk about issues as what's going on, like when people are saying, you know, they should kneel for the anthem and things like that? Do you think it's your place as an artist that has influence to say to mention it at all?
I feel like if that's what's in your voice, if that's what you feel like, that's what your calling, if that's what you feel like that's what God calling you to do, then do it. I feel like it's not for everybody. I feel like not everybody has the mindset to talk about that. But by any means, if you feel like that's what your voice is, that's the direction that you going in, by any means, I mean, that's a point that I think people need to hear. That's a topic, you know, the shit that's going on in the world today, that's a topic that I think people need to most definitely be constantly reminded of, that the world that we live in. But I feel like that's not for everybody to talk about.
Right.
You know?
Right. Now, growing up, young Juice WRLD, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, coming from a Christian household, how did it affect your music to this day? Because you seem like you got a lot of sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how some kids, they do music and they might grow up in a different household where it's a lot of ignorance in the household more than just a lot of knowledge and love. Yeah. Like, your mom tried to keep you from a lot of different things, like rap music and stuff like that. How did that influence and how did that change the way you start doing your music?
It kind of made me more edgy. Cause I don't want to say I got like the best relationship, like, cause I believe in God and everything. I don't want to say I got the best relationship with like God, but at the same time, like, you know, like I know what I know, I believe what I believe, and I wouldn't call myself a religious person, bro, cause religion is like a cult.
Right.
It's people that go to church faithfully every Sunday, no transportation, no, like, can't pay their bills, still giving their last dollar to a church, pastor pulling off the lot in like a Maybach, some crazy ass shit like that. So I feel like religion is a cult, but that kind of made me who I am today. I feel like I go against a lot of stuff that people, quote unquote, like spiritually inclined people would teach. You know what I'm saying? But like, I still got like some sense in my head though. So.
Right.
You a preacher. You definitely a preacher because like in some of your music, seriously, bro.
Pass the juice around, please.
Hey,
because see on
my
this
homie
legend,
over there tweaking off that shit.
listen, bro, you speaking a lot of knowledge into these kids too, bro. Because like it's youth that listening to you right now. You have the mic. You feel what I'm saying? And now your voice is being heard. And I think that's of course, in the testament to the time. But then at the same time, you got a record called Legends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my favorite record, hands down.
Appreciate you, bro.
And I've definitely listened to the project, but, I done fast forwarded now and have to listen to the new music. And that Legends record, it speaks because, like, you dropped it right after, X.
I made the same night he passed away.
Wow.
Talk about that.
Yeah, what was that relationship like?
We weren't the best of friends. We had a couple, like, deep conversations, though. And from his point of view, all he had to offer was advice and good energy. From his standpoint, we didn't see eye to eye, but I don't got nothing but respect for him because of that. It's probably a lot of people that's claiming they knew him like better than they did. I'm not finna say we was the best of friends. I'm not finna say we hung out and none of that, but we had a couple deep conversations, and he had nothing but good advice to give.
What about your relationship with Lil Peep?
I ain't even know him, but it felt like I did.
Through the music?
Yep, for sure. One of my influences.